Imagine a street. It is the year 2026. A car glides by. There is no rumble of an engine, just a soft hum, a whisper of tires on asphalt. Inside, a woman reads a book. Her hands are not on the wheel. The car sees the world around it. It sees the traffic light turn red. It slows to a gentle stop. This is not a dream from a distant future. It is the world we are building. A world of silicon and software. A world where cars think. But to understand this quiet hum, we must travel back. Back to a time of loud hisses and clanking metal. Back to the very beginning. There was steam. The age of steam was powerful. The age of steam was powerful. But steam engines were big. They were heavy. They needed time to build up pressure. The dream of a personal vehicle needed a different kind of power. It needed something smaller, something quicker. The answer came not from steam, but from a spark. An idea for a new kind of engine. It would create a tiny, controlled explosion on the inside. This was the internal combustion engine. It burned fuel inside a cylinder, pushing a piston. That push could turn a wheel. This new engine was a marvel of engineering. It was compact. It was more efficient than its steam-powered ancestors. A man named Carl Benz is often credited with building the first true automobile. In 1886, his Benz patent motorwagen rolled onto the streets of Mannheim, Germany. It had 3 wheels. It looked more like a metal tricycle than a modern car. His wife, Bertha Benz, famously took it on the first long-distance car journey. The car was a wonderful idea, but it was an idea for the few. For a long time, cars were built one at a time, by hand. They were complex machines, building them slow and expensive. They remained the property of the rich. The world might have stayed that way. But one man had a different vision, Henry Ford. He did not invent the automobile, but he invented a way to give it to almost everyone. He believed every working family should afford a car. Ford's great innovation, the moving assembly line. He was inspired by slaughterhouses, carcasses on hooks moving past workers. Instead of workers moving, the car moved past them. Each person had one simple, specific job. One person might attach a wheel. Another might install a steering column. Build time fell from over 12 hours to 93 minutes. The result? The Model T, simple, sturdy, easy to repair. Any color as long as it's black. The Model T was a promise, freedom and mobility for the average person. Suddenly the world got smaller. His workers could afford the cars they built. Speed safety. Style, once the car was for everyone, it began to change. The early days were about making it work, then about making it affordable. The next chapter was about making it better. Faster, safer, more beautiful. The boxy, practical Model T gave way to new designs, car racing, military technology, lessons learned on the racetrack, lessons learned on the battlefield. The automobile started to develop a personality. Speed was an early obsession. To win, engineers had to build more powerful engines. They had to design more aerodynamic bodies. The sleek, curved shapes began to influence cars sold to the public. The roar of a V8 engine became a sound of power and excitement. They developed stronger frames. Brakes improved from simple mechanical systems to more reliable hydraulic ones. These were not exciting features like a powerful engine, but they saved countless lives. For decades, the American auto industry ruled the world. Detroit was the car capital of the planet. Its factories churned out big, powerful vehicles. But the world was changing. After World War II, new industrial powers began to rise. Japanese companies like Toyota lacked the vast resources of their American rivals. They had to be smarter. They had to be more efficient. They developed a new philosophy, lean manufacturing. The goal was to eliminate waste, waste of materials, waste of time, waste of effort. They used a just-in-time system, parts arriving right as they were needed. They focused relentlessly on quality. The result? Incredibly reliable cars. smaller, more fuel-efficient models. In the 1970s, an oil crisis hit the world. The price of gasoline skyrocketed. Big, gas-guzzling cars became a liability. They started looking for alternatives. There they were, small, efficient cars from Japan, Toyota, Honda. Other Japanese brands gained a powerful foothold. It wasn't about being big and powerful, it was about being smart and efficient. The hybrid was a clever compromise. It still had a gas engine, but it pointed toward a different path. A path powered not by explosions, but by electrons. The idea of an electric car was not new. Some of the very first cars at the dawn of the 20th century were electric. The electric car was forgotten for nearly a century. Concerns about air pollution and climate change brought the idea back. The world needed a car that did not produce exhaust from a tailpipe. The modern electric vehicle, or EV, is a different machine entirely. Its heart is not an engine, but a large, powerful battery pack. The battery is usually laid out flat under the floor of the car. This battery powers one or more electric motors. The experience of driving one is unique. There is no engine noise, no vibration. When you press the accelerator, the power is instant and silent. Recharging happens at home, overnight, like a cell phone, or at public charging stations. A new company, Tesla, played a huge role in making electric cars desirable. They built their own network of high-speed chargers. At the same time that the engine was being replaced by the battery, this one was happening inside the car's brain. For decades, cars were purely mechanical. Then, small computers began to appear. At first, they were simple. Controlled the fuel flow to the engine to make it more efficient and cleaner. Managed the anti-lock braking systems. Computing power grew exponentially. Software exploded. The car was no longer just a machine. It was becoming a computer on wheels. Today's cars are filled with digital technology, sensors that watch the road, cameras that see, GPS for navigation, large touchscreens for controls. They can connect to the internet, get real-time traffic updates, stream music, receive software updates wirelessly, like a smartphone. This connectivity makes driving easier and more pleasant. It also creates a constant flow of data. Cars can communicate with each other and talk to infrastructure. This rise of software and sensors led to the next dream, the autonomous car. A car that can drive itself. A self-driving car must perceive its environment with superhuman accuracy. Cameras, radar, LiDAR. These create a three-dimensional map of the surroundings. Powerful onboard computers process all this data in real time. The goal: a car safer than a human, never tired, distracted, or angry. The car's impact goes far beyond the machine itself. It has fundamentally reshaped our world. It is a landscape designed for the automobile. Wide roads, highways, overpasses. Vast parking lots dominate the space. The car made the suburbs possible. The car gave us unprecedented personal freedom. It fueled economic growth. It connected our communities. But it also came at a high price. The reliance on cars has led to chronic traffic congestion. It has contributed to air pollution and noise. The roads that connect us have also divided ecosystems and neighborhoods. Now, as the car itself changes, we have an opportunity to rethink our cities. The rise of electric vehicles can help clean our air. The development of shared mobility services, ride-hailing, car sharing. If cars can drive themselves, they can park more efficiently. This could free up the enormous amount of valuable land we currently dedicate to parking. We could turn those parking lots into parks, housing, businesses. We can start to design them around people, invest in public transportation, build safe bike lanes, walkable sidewalks, mixed-use neighborhoods. We have traveled a long way. From the hiss of steam to the hum of silicon, we now stand at another crossroads, facing another set of choices. The car that changed the world must now help to save it. If we give it, the car can continue to be a tool for freedom, but a freedom that is sustainable for generations to come.